So the Baja 1000 is kind of like our Super Bowl. It's a typically about 1,000-mile race. Sometimes it's a little less, sometimes it's a little more. Like a couple of years ago, it's 1,250 miles.
Wow. Welcome to the Utah Business Spotlight. I'm your host, Peter Anthony. Today I'm here with Christopher Polvoorde. I got to tell you something, man. If you like racing, if you like Baja, if you like endurance, if you like grit and grinding and hustling to the next level, this is the world's champion. We're super stoked to have him. He is killing it in the space. But here's what I love, man. He's a young gun out there doing it, building his own business. He owns his own team. And man, thank you, Christopher, for being on the podcast today.
No, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here and, connect with Utah a little more.
Oh, yeah, man. And you're originally, I think you're from North Carolina or South Carolina?
Southern California.
Southern California.
Other side, yep. California.
SoCal.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
right
I'm an
on.
invader to Utah,
An
but
invader.
I usually, I just say I'm from down south, but
Yeah, when you said down south, I'm from the East Coast. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. So
Yeah.
the Carolinas are south, and I'm also thinking NASCAR, right? Because there's a lot of teams out there in
Yep.
North Carolina from NASCAR and South Carolina and NASCAR. Tell me how the heck did you get into racing? How do you become a world champion? You won the Baja 1000. You killed it this year, right? Overall, not just in a category.
Yeah, no, I've been very fortunate. But yeah, crazy story. So no one in my parents grew up on the East Coast too. They're from Philly. I grew up in Southern California. Someone owed my dad money and traded him a race car as a payment and a little go-kart when I was
Well, he's from Philadelphia, so he's probably obviously mobbed up like I am, right? Because I'm from Brooklyn. It's like, hey, I'm gonna.
Yeah, he make a deal. So
Yeah.
But yeah, so my parents had no racing background, nothing. Someone traded him this little cart when I was about 10 years old. Started just kind of doing it for fun. I was pretty bad at it. The whole thing, we were crashing this, that, and then slowly just kept working at it. And then, yeah, from 10 to 15, it was kind of fun doing it. And then when I was about 15 years old, jumped up to like a more of a professional category and was like, okay, we can start doing this, and tried to make it more into a business. A lot of racing nowadays is how do you sell yourself? How do you bring value and stuff? So just was always focused on that. And now 16 years later, what I'm doing.
I love it, man. You have your own team,
Yes.
right? So you're taking yourself to the races. You're building out your brand. Your brand's built on multiple things. You've got sponsorships with everybody from Red Bull to paint companies, right? So tell me how that goes. How are you breaking through? Because there's a lot of young guys who'd like to build a company, even if it's not in racing. But what gives you the confidence to start?
I think a big part, my dad's an entrepreneur. He's done it his whole life. So he's always just pushed me like, if you want to do something and I grew up in a family, like on weekends at 6 a.m. we wake up, we go work. We do it like since I can remember. Like that was just, you're always doing something. I grew up on construction sites, stuff like that. So for me, it was just kind of, if I want to do this racing thing, I got to figure out how to make it work. Cause it's what I wanted to do. It's what my passion is. And, so yeah, I just kept putting myself out there. I think that's the big thing. Just not being afraid. I think deep down, I'm kind of an introvert. I'm kind of quiet, but I've just like pushed through where go introduce myself, do stuff, and just continue to do that. And yeah, it's definitely been scary. There's been ups and downs and, trying to make it work, but through the support of my parents and everything, I mean, I've been young and they've allowed me to kind of just, keep dreaming and just keep taking these
And
next
now you're the
steps.
breadwinner, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sadly, our world, we don't make a ton of money, but we can be successful at it and we can do it. And it's fun. Like I get to do.
What's it like to race in the 1000?
It's crazy. It's a long day. It's
So describe it to our audience. What is the race?
So the Baja 1000 is kind of like our Super Bowl. It's typically about 1,000-mile race. Sometimes it's a little less, sometimes it's a little more. Like a couple of years ago, it's 1,250 miles.
Wow.
It's nonstop off-road terrain. So we're racing through, we'll start in a town and then we go into we're in the mountains, we're on the beach, we're in the desert. There's some parts where we're going 5 miles an hour and like tiptoeing through the rocks. And then there's other times where we're doing 145 across the desert, just all out. So
Anything can go wrong.
anything can go wrong. You're in the middle of nowhere. You're trying to support it. During the day, we have helicopters, but that's another thing. A Baja 1000, a majority of it's at night because we race through the night. You never stop. At night, we don't have heli support. We don't have air support. So it's a lot. It's crazy. You're out there on your own. You have you and your navigator, and you're kind of like Baja is first you have to tackle Baja. Then you can figure out, okay, can I try to beat the other competitors too? Because there's always different stuff getting thrown at you. These are, they're shutting down these roads, but there's still cattle out there. There's still, people driving their cars out there. It's hard to shut down the whole, 1,000+ miles. So it's this endurance race that we start, and for 1,000 miles, we're just all out racing each other, bumping each other. It's all kinds of, but it's like a very type 2 fun. I don't know if you ever heard the term type 2 fun, where it's while you're doing it, you're kind of miserable. But then you get home and it's all you talk about.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's like going and climbing a mountain.
Yep.
Going climbing Everest. It's cold, it's miserable, you're tired. But then you get home and what are you going to tell your buddies? Like, I just climbed Everest.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have seen, this happened and it went wrong and we just tackled it. Realistically, in the moment, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die.
Oh my gosh.
But so yeah, that's what's so cool about this form of racing. It's like the rawest, realest form of racing. I mean, we have very little regulations. Our cars are fully unlimited. If I wanted to mount a jet engine on the roof of my truck, I could. There's no rules. Which there's no other form of motorsports like that in the world,
Yeah.
Like F1's super regulated. So it's just this like it's kind of the Wild West still.
That's so cool, man. And to win overall and to be so young and to do it with your own team, not even as a driver, right? It's really cool.
It was exciting. It was one of those things that it's still, I mean, you're like, oh man, we did it.
Yeah.
Because it's what you dream of. And, I've been very fortunate. I'm young. So to have it happen at my, like this age, I'm like, oh, this is cool.
That's very, very, very
What's
cool.
next?
Yeah, my kids think you're the coolest because they've been on your Insta, they're on your website. They're really stoked. Now, it's not, obviously you've got NASCAR, then you've got Formula One. These guys are dominating with sponsorships, money. They're making big bucks, big brand deals. You guys are in the food chain, but not at the top of the food chain. So you still have to generate your own money, where these other companies are becoming sponsors because they're the F1 or NASCAR's in so much momentum. Just having my name there, next to, Dale Earnhardt, right? Or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, it's okay, cool. It's all eyes on him in that moment, right? So you're doing other things in your business to maintain and to build, and you have to do it on your own. So tell me what the business looks like.
Yeah, so the race team's funded by partners and sponsors and stuff, but like you said, we're not mainstream. We're much more niche, and we have great fans and they're awesome, but we have to think of other ways to create these partnerships and sell ourselves and why we're a good partner. And so it's very creative, and every partnership's different. Sometimes like you get hired by Optima, their battery company, and they want to go win races and be associated with like
The
the
winners,
cool,
yeah.
the cool and that. But then there's you work with like some of these other brands, and we help a ton on the development side, because what we go learn in Baja, we can take and then put into a consumer product.
So cool. That's interesting, right? So you're taking the technology that's necessary to win the race, and you're passing it on to your sponsors, and that's part of the deal. That's
Yep.
very, very cool. How do you so obviously we own a marketing company, so you give you some ideas for marketing, man.
Yeah.
That will one of the things that you want to extend the experience, right? So you want to get out those components on your swag, right? I can't say enough about swag, but if you build out swag that has all your partners on it, right, going up the sleeves of a long sleeve shirt, you can rock out those shirts for like $200-300 to your fans. You do a limited of 1,000 of them, and your sponsors will pay to be on the shirts, and you make yourself like $250,000 every quarter.
That's what I need to do. But yeah, for us, merch is for me, I do a good number of merch, but I sell my merch really cheap.
Well, we're going to teach you how to sell limited editions at a high price, and then they come with back end stuff. So off camera, what we'll do is we'll walk you through that. But the idea is you want to attach the merch to an experience. So there's 1,000 pieces of merch. I've got an experience that's happening for 12 people. I'm going to choose 12 of the 1,000 buyers, right? If you're buying 2 shirts, you're going to get 2 tickets. You're going to get to come, get your butt over here to Park City, and we're going to take you through a little tour, and you're going to take your pictures and stuff. So they're buying into the experience. And what you want to do, who's really, really good at this? You can learn a little bit, everybody who's watching. If you go to Gas Monkey Garage, Richard Rollin is a savant at marketing, right? He's really taken something where he was never known as, he won the Cannonball, right? So it's like a 24-hour run, and that was kind of cool. But no one really knew about it, and it wasn't a sponsored race. It's kind of an underground thing.
Yeah.
And, he's pretty much of a badass. But what he did really recognize is how deals are put together and how money's made long term, right? Sort of like Carroll Shelby, right? That was really good at it too. So you just have to be like that in your racing team. But you want the more people you have associated to your product and your brand. So Richard builds a car and he gives the car away. And you'd say, well, how's he going to give the car away? He sells about $2 million of merch a month, right? So he's like, so it's easy for him to give $100,000 car away.
Yeah.
Because it's only 5% of the merch, So you have to start where you understand that the value to that person is like, I get to represent Gas Monkey, or I get to represent Carroll Shelby, or I get to represent whatever that racing team is. And integrate. People want to touch their heroes, right? They want to be part of that. So I think that'd be real cool for you too. So we'll go over it off camera. So what does a team look like? What is necessary to put around a champion? Like what components of your team? What kind of car were you driving?
Yeah. There's a lot of different moving parts. So I mean, the people. A big part of racing is the people and surrounding. I mean, I get the glory, I'm driving it, but realistically, there's an army. The Baja 1000, we had about 115 people.
What?
For one car.
You had to pay for 115 people to work on one car?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
25 years old, he's got a staff of 115
Yeah.
people. That's crazy.
So that's not full-time. Full-time, we're a much slimmer, and, a lot of people come and be part of the experience. So we're very fortunate. Great, team of people that come and support us. But, yeah, so there's – mechanics. When we go down to Baja, we have mechanics, we have medics, we have logistical people, we have helicopter pilots, we have media. We have a whole media team and marketing
Your own media team.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're actually, you're putting GoPros or whatever you're using everywhere so that you can, see where you're leaving, where you're headed, on the sides, inside. Right?
Exactly. And then now, there's new technology we've developed. We can actually, it's during the Baja 1000 the entire time, while we were racing, you could go, click on, you could go onto this app, Racing Redefined, click on it, and literally see in-car, live, hear me and my navigator the entire time.
Really?
You can check in, and you could check in with, number 2 place, number 3, and you can kind of create your own experience. But that's the cool, it's live now. We're in the middle of nowhere, off grid, and you can just jump on board and listen to us. You see our speed, see my heart rate.
Are there? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Are there secrets that you don't want to divulge? Are they going to learn secrets of racing by watching inside?
Oh yeah, no, that's. I mean, there's no
Because
filter. There's no filter.
You're
It's
breaking
on.
down your strategy.
Yep. And so in the beginning, it was definitely hard to open up, but it's what the sport needs, and it creates. I mean, so many people. You jump on board, and you're like, oh, I'm going to watch for 5 minutes, and the next thing you know, it's been 5 hours because, you're just kind of, you feel like you're there. You feel like you're sitting in the back seat because we're just. I mean, me and my navigator are talking, communicating nonstop, and then we're talking to the helicopter, and the helicopter's relaying information about other drivers, the team, the next pit stop, strategy. And then if we do have something start going wrong, you get to hear us troubleshoot it. And it's, we're talking into each other. We're talking to our team. Our team's pairing in on computers.
Would that have helped you if you'd have seen it before you started racing? Do you think it would have given you, it would have given you some sort of competitive advantage going into it because you've got that extra cockpit experience?
Oh, you mean like trying to like just watching it? Yeah, no, it definitely helps. It definitely, yeah. We watched a lot of footage and stuff, and
That's so cool, man. What kind of car were you running?
it was a Ford Raptor. But they're called trophy trucks, so they're fully no rules, which is hard to for a lot of people. There's some safety regulations and stuff, but our truck makes about 1,200 horsepower, four-wheel drive,
Oh,
naturally
wow.
aspirated. So it's a
Wow.
565 cubic inch or a 9.2 liter. I mean, it's a huge engine.
Wow.
Four-wheel drive, 30 inches
Was
of
Ford a
travel.
sponsor?
Yes.
Wow. So
Yeah.
the Ford Raptor unhinged, what do you call it?
Called a trophy truck.
A trophy truck. Complete beast.
Yeah, they're crazy. I mean, they're violently fast. 6-speed gearbox, 40-inch tires, 30 inches of travel. The suspension's all electronic, so there's like a computer on board actively tuning. Like, the simplest thing is like we hit a jump and it's gonna realize, okay, I've been in the air for 2 seconds. I need to stiffen up. Okay, I've been in the air for 5 seconds. Like I really need to stiffen up. Oh, I've been in the air for 10 seconds. And it's this computer's got all these algorithms that it's processing for the
Wow.
suspension, and that's like a big thing. We developed that, and now that's you go buy a Ford Raptor, it has that technology.
So you developed the technology that helps the Raptor be better on road and off road.
Yep. Yeah. Not me personally, but I was
But
one of
your
the
team,
development
yeah.
drivers. Working with Fox Shocks and their team of engineers, we've been the ones helping push that forward because we learned so much. I mean, Baja is the most extreme, the most violent, and we're seeing these crazy things. So if we can get it to last there, we put it on a Ford Raptor. It's like this is cake. This is
So
cake.
you're endorsing Ford Raptors. You think they're a great product.
Oh yeah, I love them. It's
Now,
my
do you still drive one?
yeah daily drive one. I have a Raptor R, and once you have one, it's kind of, in my opinion, once you own a Raptor, you're kind of ruined. It's like the ultimate daily. Have you ever had a Raptor?
No, I had a Hellcat.
Okay, yeah, you got to get a Raptor, especially living here in Utah, year round. Best. It's a truck, so it's a little bit bigger to park and stuff, but it drives like a sports car.
Really?
They drive so like nice and smooth, and they're nice inside. Like trust me, once you own one,
You'll
you're
never want anything else.
you're ruined. If
Okay. Sorry,
like,
BMW.
well, yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
for a sports car and stuff, but for me, like an ultimate, I live up in Heber, up in the mountains a little. Like it's once you can drive year
I've heard
round.
great things about them. They sound so throaty and beastie,
Oh
and
yeah,
I just love the sound signature of that particular vehicle. Is awesome. Now, I had a Hellcat for 2015 Hellcat that I bought for my 50th, and I thought it was real cool, and it was throaty but terrible handling car, right?
they're boats.
Yeah. Well, they're just ice skates. I could,
Yeah,
and you can't go up. You can't go because there's so much power just to the rear wheels. Before they made the all-wheel drive, you couldn't go up a hill. Like you literally, I would sit there and like if there's one piece of gravel, I'm just fishtailing. I'm like, okay, cool. Should I go up backwards? Because it's the only way you can get your car up a hill. It was terrible. Like, dude. But man,
they're fast.
when you got on it, you can go you can go in a straight line. It was a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've actually have a lot of track time in a Hellcat
Oh, right on.
training, and but yeah, they're gnarly.
Yeah, I did all. We did all our race car training at Laguna Seca
Okay.
with with all of the Dodge Vipers.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so we started on the Dodge Vipers, which again is similar to the Hellcat because you're just going to break the tail out every
Yeah.
single time, and then we get back into because I drove rough Porsche. Do you know the roof
Yeah. Yeah.
team out of Germany?
Yeah. I just did a thing with them at up in Montana, Fat International Ice Race.
Oh, right on. Yes, I had a Yellowbird. Sick.
Actually, I'll have to show you. I just did a video shoot drifting on the snow with a Yellowbird.
Really?
Yeah. And I didn't know the value of it when I first. I mean, yeah, halfway through the shoot, someone's like, "You know what that thing costs?" And I'm
Yeah,
like,
it costs
"I
a
don't know."
lot of dough,
Yeah.
man.
And
And
I'm
I had
like,
mine in the early 2000s. But I was always a port. I tried a Ferrari. Um, in the 80s and 90s, Ferraris were terrible. Now they're great, right? Because they've put so much electronics in them. But so I'm an old guy, so I wanted the Magnum GT, right? So I had a 308, and it was like, yeah, it was terrible. But then you get into a Porsche, and I can't say enough about
They're
that
works of
product.
art. I know, especially the roof stuff. That's Optima does a bunch with the roof family, and so they're so cool.
They're so cool.
I've been trying to go. I want to go over and visit. I've been.
Oh man, let's put together. We should put together an outline with Optima, right? And we just sell a bunch of swag that gets a bunch of people over to Roof and do all of your social, and we sell $500,000 worth of swag and get everybody else to pay for the trip, and we're done.
We're
doing it.
I'm
That's
all in.
what's
I'm
happening,
going to.
man. You guys want to go to Germany with a world champion? This is what's going to happen.
I'd be all for it. I love traveling, so.
Yeah, it's cool, man. And have you been around? Like, have you been to AMG? Have you been to where they're building the M's?
No, I haven't been to a ton. I've been to a lot of Ford stuff, and because I work with Ford a lot, and then I've been to battery manufacturing places all around. But yeah, I haven't gone down anything.
Ford racing is just so storied, right? Like when you see Ford versus Ferrari, you forget, like Ford's a monster, man. Like what they did with those GTs at Le Mans,
and now they're making a push back. I don't know if you saw, like they just broke a record last week on the Nürburgring, fastest American car.
Really?
Yep.
So they took that was Corvette for a hot second.
Second, now they have a Mustang. It's called a GTD. It's basically like a race car that's street legal. They're really cool. It's a Mustang, but they're rad. I don't know all the stats on them. But yeah, they're making a pushback. I mean, Ford versus Ferrari is their goal again, basically. I mean, going into F1 and stuff now. So
I would love to see American companies. I'd love to see Chevy get involved, right? I mean, because the Corvette's just a machine now that it's mid-engine. Yeah, it's real fun to drive. And we've got a couple of people who drive in Vets, and I just can't say enough about them. And anything. Like growing up, I had everybody had a 5-liter Mustang. Like that was the car, right? So you get your 5-speed 5-liter Mustang, and you just beat the bejeez out of it. But when I grew up, unlike when you grew up, 0 to 60 in 6 seconds was fast. To have a sub 11-second car in a quarter mile, that was fast. Now you got Teslas doing it in 7 seconds, and it's like, what? It's crazy.
The new cars nowadays, like, it's stupid that you can just go buy one
and
just drive it, like no experience, nothing.
It's awesome, baby. So where can people find you that they can integrate with you? How can they buy some of your swag? We got to sell some swag.
I have my website, which is just my name, ChristopherPolvoorde.com. All my socials and everything drive you there. So it's just Christopher Polvoorde. It's a big, long name, not easy, but it's my name. It's what I got. So.
And there's only 2 of you said, in the whole world.
Yeah, as far as my dad and I are the last male Polvoordes in the world. So if I want to continue the Polvoorde legacy, I got to have some boys.
I love it. Well, you're going to do it, man. All the ladies are going bananas for you right now, which I love. Let's get on again. Next time I want to come up to where you are. We want to see some of your stuff. Let's do a walkthrough of your garage.
Yeah, come on up. We have our race shop. We prep right here in Utah. A lot of people don't know.
Where is it?
We're in Heber. We're in.
So
Heber.
Your race shop's in Heber.
Yep.
All right, we're going to get our friends down there. We're going to do a big Utah business spotlight in Heber at the race shop. We'll invite you. You're going to want to be there. You're going to buy a lot of swag from this young man. You're going to see a lot of him. He's going to be a champion for the next couple of decades, and he's just going to be winning. Thank you, brother, for coming on. I appreciate you. Like, subscribe, share. This is the Utah Business Spotlight. I'm Peter Anthony, your host, and Christopher is killing it.